Hello students and welcome to my video. Today I will be just revising uh, the chapter 6. Here the title that we have already mentioned in my video, that is reforming gender beliefs. Now when we talk about reforming, it means you have to understand that uh, when we see a group of gender is given less value, or rather not given the importance, or rather not given the opportunity, what exactly happens in the society. And you can understand about the that particular gender in fact actually always victimized, always they are actually exploited, and many other format in fact they are harassed. Okay, so therefore today let us know about the women who actually improved their lives by facing different challenges in the life. So we have got here some of the women, especially we will be talking about this person called Mary Kom. Now Mary Kom, Mary Kom being a sports woman, in fact, she is not a girl, in fact, but then she had the interest in the boxer, and being a mother, two children having, and yet she actually got the support from her husband, but of course the parents were prevented her so much, and then how she actually came out, she broke the stereotype that women are not only meant for to take care of the family and homemaker making and all is not sufficient, but rather they are always actually giving the focus even in the outer world. So therefore you see today sports actually we have seen, especially in Olympic games, most of the women part in fact actually taking part, and then they are winning so many medals, and this women in fact they are bringing the proud to our country, and we should appreciate, that's why, and we should collaborate, we should encourage the women girl to go to the school, to encourage them, to support them in a different ways, so that they can come out. So sometimes in the remote villages and all, we have seen most of the girls are actually very much engaged in the domestic work and activities and all. So therefore we have to understand, to take care of the this girl especially, and to provide them some facility during this time. So therefore we must make them, and we should give them the encouragement, and we should show them the example that like them, like the girl in fact like Mary Kom and all, how they came out, they broke the stereotype. So you should not be like any other woman who is only actually setting up the family and then settling, and that is the end of the life. So therefore we have to show them the examples. Now another woman that we have found, that is about Tessie Thomas. So Tessie Thomas, about her we have already learned that she actually the missile woman of India, in fact, is not missile man is we are calling APJ Abdul Kalam, but here a missile woman is also found, that is actually Tessie Thomas, and Tessie Thomas actually being a lady, and how she has taken the part in the this project especially. So let us look there. The project that has taken by this lady, especially Tessie Thomas, actually it is only for the meant for the men only. So here in the Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, actually she is the first woman scientist to head a missile project in the country. So currently she is the Director General of the aeronautical systems of DRDO. Okay, so therefore let us understand now how this Tessie Thomas in fact actually also broke the stereotype. Then again we have the Arundhati Bhattacharya. This Arundhati Bhattacharya also part of the this stereotype breaking. Now you look there how this Arundhati Bhattacharya in fact being a State Bank of India, she is the former chairman of State Bank of India, and then she was considered the very powerful woman, is it not? She is considered a very powerful woman, and she in fact actually her name also in fact mentioned in the Forbes magazine, especially in USA. Okay, So next we have the another few people who actually brought the change in the society, because the society was actually very often considered as a, like a what called the conservative. Means you have seen that the society where they were living, they were not allowed to go to the school. They were not allowed to do any kind of like a skillful things and all. And yet you can see that here how these people actually came out. So therefore we have seen the Pandita Ramabai. You know why we are calling Pandita Ramabai? Because she mastered herself in Sanskrit. Because in earlier days, you know, the Brahmins only knew the Sanskrit, and you know sometimes they were misinterpreted, and they were given the false statement. Sometimes you know most of the this is sati, widow remarriage, and many other like practices were done in a country like India. So here most of the times women were actually suffering, and they had a great like a problem every now and then. So they were victimized regularly. So therefore Pandita Ramabai, you can find that she became mastered in the language, and then she gave the statement, and she gave the correct things what is actually written in the Sanskrit. And then she open up one mission called Mukti Mission, that actually promoted the welfare and education of Indian women. Okay, so she actually taught this women that even women also can become the carpenters, then to earn self-sufficiently. Okay. Next we have got Rokeya Sakawat Hussain. Now Rokeya Sakawat Hussain, we have already learned about her. She was a writer, Bengali writer, and then she was an educationist, then a social activist, and then also a staunch supporter of women's rights. So I talk about the women's right. Today suppose you have the right, it means you are actually considering that this right is supposed to be given to the girl always, but then you know most of the societies are actually deprived of that. It means the societies are sometimes depriving them. So therefore better to give away those society rather than to suffer in the society, is it not? So Rokeya Sakawat Hussain was also a Bengali writer, and she did many things about this, and she has written about the story called Sultan's Dream, and she wrote the story in 1905, and in order to practice her writing skills. And as she associated this what called like a women's association, and women employment and education. Then she opened the Muslim girls one school for the first time. It means she established that, and she opened the school for the Muslim girls. Okay, so like this you can see that there are some of the stereotype people actually under this suppression also, they actually coming out. So let us know schooling and education today, how this schooling and education is given to the children, especially girl child, is whether getting sufficiently or not. That is actually matters a lot here. So today it might seem to a lot of people that going to school is easy for both boys and girls. However, in many areas, you know, our country, especially girls, still struggle to educate themselves, especially. And then according to the census of in India 2011, you know, the 82% of the male enjoy the education, whereas you can see that the number of the women is very little. Okay, that is 65%. So why this percentage is less in case of the girl child to go to the school? Because you know there is a lack of schools, and also the teachers not attending on the regular basis. That is also one of the reason was found. Another reason was found is a distance of schools. It means very far away school. So for a girl child to go to the far distance school on foot and all is rather difficult, and they are always at risk. So that is also shown here. And again we have the here that no transportation system, and also we have the cost of education, costly also. So discrimination by teachers and classmates, these are also very few common problem that actually existed at that time. So let us know now women movement. why this women movement has taken place, especially the changes that we have seen in the status and opportunities available to women over the years have come as a result of struggles of various women. Therefore, you can see that most of the women actually came out in protest, and then they put the very much like a hard work to support the other women. And whenever why they supported, because most of the women were actually victimized at home, and then they suffered a lot at home. So that's why the women's movement actually began. And the women's movement began when a new outlook actually emerged towards the status of women in the 19th century. And the first campaigns launched during this period were actually against the sati system and a widow remarriage. It means you have to see in the 19th century, the sati and widows were actually not allowed to marry. So these are also the problem were existed at that time. And therefore you can see that this problem actually existed, and then most of the time the women were actually victimized very often. So that's why this protest was actually started at that time. So that's why it is known as the women's movement. Okay, next we have got to get the facility or to establish this particular movement, different things actually they have acquired. For example, uh, the use of campaigning, protesting, raising awareness, and showing solidarity to voice the grievances women, fight discrimination against them, and seek justice. So these are the few actually the step was taken by the different women in the country. And that's why today we can find that women are getting the status and position. So therefore we have to be very careful whether we are able to uh, tackle, whether we are able to see whether things are going to happen better way or not, for the girls especially. So therefore let us take care of that especially. So here this campaign in fact has happened. Why? Because it is because that many of the times the justice is not done to them. For example, you can see that here the issues are taking place, and issues are tackled by the women, especially you can see the domestic violence, dowry system, harassment at a workplace, then also equal remuneration for equal work, and a child marriage, along with education and health of women. These are the few issues were actually tackled by this women movement. So that's why it's very important. Next we have got this women protested against these issues with the help of various strategies. What are the strategies? Such as rallies, street plays, cultural programs. It may say you have seen the group of women or the girl. In fact, they used to show the drama, show the street play, and then they used to convey the message that we, being a girl, what we can do, that what we can achieve. So they used to show the example. And today, for example, are amples. It means most of the countries are actually having the very nice concrete examples how this women in fact actually becoming the ahead of the boy, ahead of the man, in fact in the different works places. So therefore let us support them, and then we can understand. Even today, for example, in the school we have the good result by the girl child, not the boy child. Boy childs are very much lacking behind nowadays, and the reason behind the boy child is lacking because they are careless, not taking care of, not asking the questions, not clearing the doubts. Rather they consider they if they ask they will get their dignity, their respect will be lowering down, and so many other things going on in their mind. And so they don't come for the clarification, they don't come for any sort of instructions. So they consider themselves they are perfect, so they don't come. But we have seen that very often the girls are coming and clarifying the doubts, and then they are associating most of the time about the how to write the answers, how to make the sentence properly, and then which are the ideas can be implemented, then the language will become standard. So many other doubts they are coming and clarifying. Therefore, they are now going ahead of the boys. And today, for example, the good result is seen from the girls' side. So that's why today, for example, we can't deny that girls are actually ill omen for the family. Not like that. Not at all correct. This other statement. Rather, I can say one who has given this statement that girls, when they are born, it means they are bringing the burden to the family. It's very, very wrong. It's very, very wrong. Because today, a girl, one who is born and then suppose she is studied and she becomes a doctor or nurse or engineer, then you see the how much the family members are actually getting the support, and how much the society even is getting the inspiration from her. So therefore, we have to really take care on that a girl child be always cared. Even the parents sometimes, when the girl child is born, their mouth is or their face is looking like a long. It may say they felt or they feel very much pain why the girl child is born. Is it not? So I would like to encourage every guardian, every students that take care, must give them equal opportunity, give them opportunity for the study, and give them opportunity for exposing their skills and talents, so that you will be gaining, your family will be benefiting, and you will be developing. So that's why it is you who should decide correctly. Not nowadays you no need to listen to the community, no need to listen to the any of the your organizations, because they are not going to build up your family, they are not going to support you all through your life. So therefore, today you have to do by yourself. Today you are the person who need to take the correct decisions, not your community, not your religions, not your any of the people who belong to you. Okay, so therefore forget about everything. So therefore let us say join with the governments even to support this campaign to happen correctly. So therefore you can see that the government also actually is supporting by launching different programs, different schemes, such as that is the Equal Remuneration Act, Beti Bachao, then again Beti Padhao Andolan, and the establishment of the National Commission for Women. So these are the few things. So these are things are happening because the health, education, and the employment opportunities available to women have broadened over the years, and there is still a need to change the mindset of the people. So therefore, we need to take care on this issue, and then should support the girl child always. So from this chapter, we are through this chapter, in fact, I would like to ask everyone. So today onwards, you must take care about the girl child, and care them about, make them properly study, be disciplined, and then be develop your family. Okay, so this is the end of my this class. So now I would like to ask every one of you to read through properly, and then make sure that you should know many other women who actually broke the stereotype, and then showed the world in their through their talents and skills. Okay, so thank you.